Sean, thanks so much for taking the time to do this. Really appreciate it. Before we start, can you just kind of tell us who you are and what you do?
Happy to do so, James. And thanks for giving me the opportunity. It's been a great partnership with Supply Chain Creative over the years. My name's Sean Elliott, and I am the CEO here at ToolsGroup. We're one of the market-leading providers of supply chain planning technology, meaning that we partner with supply chains on a global basis to help them better understand what are they likely to sell within their SKU catalog, and how can they leverage that information to make smarter decisions about what they should buy and where they should place their inventory to overall drive productivity and profitability from their capital investments, and to drive fill rates and customer success and customer satisfaction at unprecedented levels.
That's very cool. I think you guys have a great mission, and it's going to become more and more relevant as time goes on. Can you speak to maybe some of your experiences with Supply Chain Creative? I think we've done quite a lot of projects over the years, so maybe just some highlights over the years.
Yeah, I'd be happy to. As you said, we've been partnering for years now, and it's been a wonderful collaboration. What's really important, I think, to know about the supply chain planning space is how competitive it is. In many respects, you might even use the word crowded to describe supply chain planning. And as a result, one of the things that really stands out to me as a requirement in a space like this is the need to really stand out in your messaging, to have a clear and crisp understanding of what you mean to the market. But more than just that clear and crisp understanding is to have the right vehicle or vehicles for sharing that message in a meaningful way that creates distance from your competitors and really helps the market understand what you stand for and how you create value for them. That's where Supply Chain Creative comes in. Over the years, we've had the opportunity to partner on virtual webinars, keynotes for things like user conferences during COVID when we weren't able to do things on a physical basis. We've done customer testimonials, and we've done a variety of thought leadership pieces that have really helped to anchor, again, through the voice of several key leaders within my business, what is it that we have to say to the market, and how can we leverage a very polished but also very creative and flexible, fluid type of a methodology to make sure that we again create white space and help the market see us in a new light. It's been a really great collaboration as a result, and what we've always benefited from, it maybe even more than that kind of general purpose creativity that you expect from a lot of people in supply chain creative space, is the fact that they're very supply chain focused and very specifically knowledgeable about my market, which means that when we're bringing a message to bear, we have a partner on the creative side that not only understands simple things like camera angles and when to use, different far shots, close shots to create intimacy, but more importantly, understands the power and the impact of the message we're trying to deliver, and is a great partner on, are we really anchoring the overall outcome that we want the market to take from this piece of work? And as a result, a creative partner to us as much as a vendor. I would use the word partner deeply in that respect.
Is there some kind of ROI, or did you feel like the investment with Supply Chain Creative was worthwhile?
Without question. I think if you look at pre-work and post-work, right? Pre-relationship, post-relationship with Supply Chain Creative, we would tell you that hit rates went through the roof in terms of the number of times an asset was leveraged. I would say the most recent piece of work, which is maybe the one that's freshest to mind, was again a bit of a virtual keynote for a recent event that we did where we had some flexibility issues within our executive leadership team. And if you look at the feedback that we got from customers, as well as the leads that we were able to generate from that event, we had at least a 5x increase in customers coming and inquiring after the event compared to what we did last year. Now, I realize that inquiries don't always directly translate to dollars, but as you think about the opportunity that those events represent on a global scale, we think a 5x increase in that top of funnel activity is a very meaningful and measurable result, especially given that this literally, James, happened 3 to 4 weeks ago. So we're in very real time watching that value accrete to our business and giving our salespeople patches to hunt within our customer base. And really, more important than that is we're also giving our customers something to be excited about. Again, very crowded space. They hear from our competition on a regular basis. Having our customers come to us and say, we love your vision, but we also love the way that you're presenting that vision to us to make it clear why we should be doing more business with Tools Group instead of listening to what the competition has to share with us. That's a meaningful opportunity for my business to keep our customers, to keep them happier, and ultimately to find more opportunity to do business with them in the future.
Wow, 5x. I didn't know that. That's really awesome to hear. Okay, well, the last thing I was just going to ask you is if somebody's on the fence and they're not sure if they should or shouldn't work with us, what might you say to that person?
For me, partnership, and I think most people in supply chain especially will understand this comment. Supply chain buyers buy for trust. And I realize that may sound a little strange in this context, but it's so much about what I find with supply chain creative. The fact that I have a partner that I've known for years that has always delivered high quality product, but more importantly, that knows my market and can again create that bilateral creative partnership is something I don't find with anybody else. My customers buy for trust, and as a result, I buy for trust. The number one thing I would take away is having a specialist on the other side of the table that stands behind their work is so much of that trust fabric that tells you you're making an investment that's going to pay out and that's going to return rewards to your organization.
Amazing. Sean, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. Really appreciate it. Enjoy your afternoon, and if you, the viewer, have any questions, please feel free to reach out.